Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 science fiction horror film Assimilate, a film that is written and directed by John Murlowski and it stars Joel Courtney, Callum Worthy, Andy Matichak and Catherine McNamara. Now, and this is essentially a modern retelling or remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's very much a science fiction horror in that mould, and it focuses on a small town, a small US town, with there's two teenagers, two boys who love going around filming things. They've got their own web series going on, so they're always going around filming things, and they stumble across an event taking place in their town where essentially they uncover a plot for an alien takeover, basically, and these aliens come down. The creature, this like insect type creature, bites you, and then it scuttles off, turns into a cocoon, clones you, and then this clone will then hunt you down, hunt down the real version of you and steal everything in your mind and leave you like in a vegetative state, and then that person becomes you. So very much in the same vein as I've mentioned of Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Faculty, you know, that type of sci-fi horror that we get here. Now I've got to say, this film and this theme of a horror sci-fi, if done right, can be an effective movie. I think the remake in the 70s, the Donald Sutherland one, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, was very good. It's been told so many times, this tale, over the years. Sometimes it's been effective, sometimes it's been pretty naff and pretty dull, and I've got to say this, I think, was a pretty tension filled and at times really quite creepy attempt at retelling this story, and I thought it was at times really quite effective, even though it kind of ran out of steam about 3/4 of the way through the film. The best part of this film, easily for me, was the build-up, the mystery, the discovery, what was going on, putting two and two together, these two kids investigating, and then discovering, you know, these town people acting really weird, not acting as they should. Really creepy stuff going on, not being quite able to put the finger on it, and then, if you like, when everything is uncovered, everything's out in the open, it becomes a bit of a, okay, well, that's your surprise gone, what next? And I'm not really sure the film managed to deliver on that next stage of the film, even though there were some pretty creepy and effective scenes. There are some scenes a bit like, if you remember from the Donald Sutherland Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you know, when they spot you and they open their mouth and this horrific noise comes out of it. Well, they kind of do their play of that on this. If you remember the miniseries V, you know, when their mouth elongates out and they shove the rodent in, there's something a little bit similar in this movie when they communicate with each other. That kind of thing happens, and then this horrific roar comes out that, no matter how many times you hear it in this film, it was effective and scary and creepy. So yeah, I thought this film managed to build tension really well at times. I thought the horrific aspects of the film and some of the sci-fi elements of the film worked really, really well. But like I say, I do think 3/4 of the way through, it definitely, for me, ran out of steam. And once the surprise was out, once everything was out in the open, there was retreading old ground 2 or 3 times in the film. For example, there's a scene where 2 of the characters in the film who haven't as yet been taken over by these creatures, they discover that just by walking very monotone and very robot-like and not showing any emotion, walking through a crowd of these clones, they get ignored because they think they're one of them. And you think, okay, well, that's okay, that worked, but they keep retreading that same ground, and it just kind of felt, you've done this before. So I don't know, the last quarter of the film didn't really deliver for me. And the ending, I think, is going to be a bit Marmite with people. The more actually, initially I was a bit disappointed with the ending, but actually the more I thought about it once the film finished, the more I actually thought, well, that's actually quite an interesting ending, and it did make a lot of sense to me. And obviously I can't tell you why I think that. You'll have to watch it for yourself to find out, but I thought the ending was pretty good for me. So yeah, I think if you're a fan of this type of science fiction horror, if you're a fan of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and in its various different forms, I have seen far worse versions than this. This one puts quite a modern twist on a sci-fi classic, I would suggest. And I thought for the most part it was effective. It was scary when it needed to. It didn't give you any cheap scares. I don't remember being many jump scares, not unearned ones. And the performances were all sound throughout the film. I thought it was going to be really quite low budget, but the effects for the most part I thought were really effective as well. The effects of these little creatures that are running about, and the faces when they're stretching out, and that kind of thing. A pretty decent budget for a low budget science fiction horror. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a little bit above average for me. I think it could have been better, but I found it very watchable, and I certainly had a good time with it. So if you're interested in checking it out, go and give Assimilate a go. So once again guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time on Screen Stars.